Brad Garlinghouse is asked about Ripple and, of course, XRP ETFs. He's also asked questions about the SEC and whoever wins the election in November, what will happen to Gary Gensler. We have an update with the Ripple case with Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson. I have some news around BRICS. I have some news around Ripple and this new partnership. A lot of really cool information in this video. I hope you stick with me through the entire thing. Let's get into it. Guys, I'm Crypto Sensei. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for checking me out. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. If you find value in this video, think about subscribing. And to all of you that are subscribed, I already love you. All right, so Garanti, BBVA partners with IBM, Ripple for digital asset custody. And this is 10 hours ago, so this is hot off the press. Try to get this video out as soon as possible. Turkey's Garanti BBV has launched its Garanti BBV digital assets as part of its fintech subsidiary last year. It went live with its wallet in June and has now confirmed that it is a combination of technologies from Ripple Custody and IBM, which is awesome. You do have Ripple, they master cross-border payments. They've been working on CBDC technology for a very long time. They're one of the top players in the CBD space. Now Ripple's working on their stablecoin technology as well as custody. And so I think Ripple goes into these meetings with these banks and institutions and central banks, and they say, hey, we need this, this, and this. And Ripple's like, hey, we can solve this, we can solve this. We're working on that. And now I think over the next, few months, Ripple's going to be able to go into these meetings and have a solution for whatever that bank or institution brings up. And that's extremely powerful for Ripple's growth and XRP adoption over the next few years. IBM so far it has 14,000 digital asset clients, with the main bank serving 12 million digital and 11.6 million mobile customers. The Ripple IBM digital asset custody partnership is unsurprising. BBVA owns around 86% of Garanti BBVA, and the group has been an early mover in digital assets. BBVA Switzerland started offering crypto services to retail customers in 2021. The banks partnered with Switzerland's Medico for digital asset custody technology, and Ripple acquired Medico for $250 million last year. Let's get into this. I wanted to show you this. I showed this in my other video. Look at how many partnerships Ripple actually has with these different countries, right? So you have Brazil here, connections with Ripple, HSBC. I know Ripple has had some talks with ICBC. You have Ripple working in Africa, right? And Ripple's always expanding. Here is Brad Garlinghouse answering the question around XRP traded fund, which is an ETF, which could provide a lot of liquidity for
milestone, let's call it, for XRP, which is this idea that you have asset managers now filing for ETFs tied to it, started by Bitwise. What is the prospect of having that spot ETF tied to XRP anytime soon, and what do you think it'll mean for the price of XRP?
Look, I think we clearly are seeing ETFs have been popular. The United States SEC was dragged kicking and screaming to approve the Bitcoin ETF in January. I think you've seen about $17 billion flow into that ETF. I think it's the fastest growing ETF in history. It's very clearly demonstrating there's demand from institutions, there's demand from retail to access this asset class. So the XRP interest has grown. You've seen 2 or 3 ETF filings happen around XRP. And to me, it's just inevitable. You're going to see not just Bitcoin and ETH, you're going to see an XRP ETF. You're starting to see there's a filing around a basket ETF that has, I think, 5 or 6 cryptos in it, which I think also makes a lot of sense. But it also is just part of the trend of more and more institutionalized participation in the crypto industry. So I think we're going to continue to see that. And I do think it creates upward pressure on the prices for many different cryptos, including XRP.
The flows into the Bitcoin ETFs have been pretty remarkable. Not so remarkable have been flows into the ETH ETFs. What indication do you have, Brad, that there actually is demand for an XRP ETF?
Well, I would disagree that there's not. The ETH ETF, I think, has done exceptionally well. It hasn't done as well as Bitcoin, but if you look at the kind of market dominance of Bitcoin compared to ETH, the ratio is about the same in terms of the ETF participation. Obviously, the ETH ETF is newer. So I actually think the ETH ETF has done very well. I think we clearly see a very interested and active community around the XRP ecosystem, both here in the United States and beyond, and that has grown. And so I think that a XRP ETF will do quite well.
And he's talking about all of you, right? The people that are currently engaged in learning more about XRP. So Brad Garlinghouse is showing some love to all of us. So this just got filed. I did see this floating around, and I wanted to bring it up. The SEC has asked for the deadline to submit its main brief to be set to January 15, 2025. Looks like Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson are not out of the woods just yet. Side note, regardless of the election outcome, Gary Gensler will not be leading the SEC in January. I am hopeful with whatever new administration is coming, this ongoing situation with Ripple and executives will be resolved. So what I mean by that is I'm hoping that whoever is in the new seat as the head of the SEC decides to just stop whatever they're doing with regards to Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson. I think they've been through enough over the last 3.5 years. It's fucking ridiculous. Excuse my French. All right, here is Hester Pierce regarding crypto regulatory framework. Now, she could be the next head of the SEC, right? She is already one of the commissioners. There's 5 commissioners. She's one of them. She is a lot forward thinking as far as the crypto industry goes. She has a good reputation inside of the SEC, and she has a good reputation inside of the crypto sphere. So could she be the next head of the SEC? Possible, very possible. Here is her talking about this is America and people should make it free to make their own choices about crypto in place.
You, Commissioner, you are seen by the public as more pro-crypto, or at least less anti-crypto than some other members of the SEC. Why do you think, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm making this assumption, but why do you think it's important for the nation to adopt more pro-crypto friendly stances and regulations?
Well, I think as I mentioned, it's not about being pro or anti-crypto. It's about saying I'm a regulator and my job is to regulate in a way that allows the markets to figure out what they want and what they don't want. And what my criticism has been is that we have taken a decidedly anti-crypto approach to the way we interpret our regulations. And I think that's completely wrong for us to do that. I think we need to go back to being neutral, and that means we do work with people and help them figure out how to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish while remaining consistent with our securities law objectives. And we could do that. It would not be hard for us to do. I mean, it would require some work, but it's not impossible. And I think that's the job of a regulator, to take new facts and circumstances and to work with people to figure out how they fit within the current framework, and then allow the public to make their own decisions about whether they want things or not. This is America, and people should be free to make their own choices. And so that's the world that I'm hoping that we can create with a more neutral regulatory framework.
She's perfect. She's perfect, right? I think she would do a kick-ass job. Also, I did play this in another video, but we are talking about XRP and Gary Gensler's reign hopefully will be over come January 5th. And Brad Garlinghouse actually addresses this very point, and let's play this.
Well, I think there's one thing I feel very confident about, and that is the Biden administration's approach to regulation of the crypto industry. That is coming to an end for sure. And I think no matter where this plays out at the presidential level, we'll have a more constructive engagement with this industry. It's a critical industry. It's an innovative technology, and I think the United States should be at the forefront and leading, as we did with the Internet of Information. I think we'll get there. As I said yesterday at the Philadelphia Federal Reserve, I think Gary Gensler's reign of terror on the crypto industry is going to come to an end very soon.
Brad, in your view, does it matter if Kamala Harris is president come January 20th or Donald Trump is president come January 20th? What's better for you? What's better for Ripple?
It's a crazy question.
Well, I've taken a very neutral point of view. For the crypto industry, I think it's clear that the Republicans at a macro level have been more proactive in saying this is an industry that needs clear regulation. You have seen a Republican-led bill in the House pass with 71 or 72 Democrats crossing the aisle to support that in a very bipartisan way. So I think we have seen a more Republican-centric, but I also think you've seen indications that the Harris campaign wants to reset some of the very flawed approaches that the Biden administration has had with the crypto industry and other parts of technology. So what I'm optimistic about is we're going to see a change. We're going to see a reset. And I think we need that at the federal level. The United States, there's no question, the United States is behind other leading countries like the UK, like Switzerland, like Singapore, like Japan, that are way ahead in providing constructive and clear regulation and rules of the road for this industry.
All right, it wasn't me typing. That's what I was putting up my hands. It wasn't me typing. It was the guy that was interviewing Brad Garlinghouse. Also, there's a great clip here with Brad Garlinghouse. No matter what happens in the next election, we'll have a reset. Okay. I like the word choices here. Minute 20. Let's play it.
No matter what happens in this next election, we will have a reset. We can debate the magnitude of that reset, and there's lots of disagreement about that.
All right.
Obviously, Trump came out early and very aggressively in a pro-crypto and said he's the crypto president. Kamala and Team Harris have been more nuanced. This week, I think it was this week, they had some of the most constructive things they have said publicly. But look, I do think, Kamala Harris is from Silicon Valley. I think she has generally been pro-technology over the years. She has been relatively quiet on the topic. But I think no matter what happens, we're going to see a reset. We're going to see forward progress.
Really quickly, both people that are running for president in the U.S. have actually said stuff about crypto. As far as policy goes, crickets. Neither one of them, right? With politicians, doesn't matter what aisle or what side of the aisle that they're on. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Doesn't matter, right? We need to actually see what their policies are going to be so people can make a better educated understanding of what their presidency will be like and if that will reshape the crypto industry for good.
Progress, and I'm certainly looking forward to that.
Yeah, so you are wearing a purple tie, so you're not here to make any endorsements.
I did endorse John Deaton yesterday.
Yes.
I'd already given money to him. But look, Elizabeth Warren, I think, has been the most destructive towards this. She has a webpage on her campaign that says, I'm building an anti-crypto army. It's like, okay, I'm against the technology. I've made the joke before, like, why would somebody be against a technology? It's like saying I'm against email, but you're for email.
Stupid.
It doesn't make sense. Like, you could say I'm against how crypto is being used, or I'm against something, but like, to be against a technology.
If you are in Massachusetts, think about voting for John Deaton. Obviously, you need to listen to his ideas and if that lines up with what you're looking for. But I am pro John Deaton. I think he's actually kind of more center of the aisle on most things, and he's extremely crypto friendly, and he's going to be a voice for the XRP community, I believe, in the Senate, which could be a game changer for all of us. Please take a look at his policies. I would vote for John Deaton if I was in Massachusetts. Let me just leave it at that. I will leave a link down to my digital twin. If you can't get a hold of me and if you want to ask me a question, I have an AI digital twin from Twin Protocol that you can jump on. You can ask it 5 questions a day for free. Or you can actually sign up and pay if you want to ask me like 100 questions about the crypto industry. This is how you can engage with me if I'm sleeping or if you just want to see what my twin's like. So I will leave a link down in the description. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, retweet the video. I would really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed and you don't have that bell notification turned on, please think about doing so. I would really appreciate it. Aloha. I'll see you next time.